basically making out with that dude Kevin, and everyone must have it now. You wish you were, man. I've never seen you so in love with a guy.
I was not in love. Well, look at him!
Look at him! He's blushing.
It was not. We're just friends. What?
Fix his hair.
Stop it! Stop it! You didn't see anything. Stop it!
Oh my God! This is the best thing that's ever done. I don't like the guy, but this is the best thing.
Do you plan on getting a boat?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, same with me.
We are at Harney's Point in beautiful Cape Coral. Let's check out a Trump boat parade. Trump boat parade. Cape Coral.
Good afternoon, Cape Coral fans. That's right, Cape Coral's most famous house guest, stuttering John Melendez. John Edward Melendez, my old ex-good buddy, is planning on getting a boat, and we just found out yesterday that they were having an actual boat parade for Donald Trump in Cape Coral, and that guy and a multitude of other people took video of the boat parade. So that's what John Edward Melendez could and should expect if and when he does get a boat. I don't know, because now we know that he is living with his mom in New York City. They had that, on Long Island. They have the summer vacation home that is now 100% owned, and I can confirm that, by John Edward Melendez's mother. So in reality, it's up to John's mom whether she's going to allow him to have girls over, allow him to have toys such as boats. I mean, boys grow up to be men, and they're always are boys. Any woman that is married to a man can testify to that. These guys never grow up. They just have different toys. And if John wants a toy, he's going to have to ask his mother for it. If she's the one with all the assets, if it's her house, it's her rules. I said that from the beginning. He must obey by his mom's rules. If you want to convey all your interest in the Florida vacation home to your mom, well, then you better abide by her rules. Either way, last night was weird. I saw that my good buddy Rob Saul was on, and I really like Rob. I actually listened to a bunch of his shows, and I decided to go on. I didn't have much going on last night, so I jumped on his show. We're going to go through some of the video with that. We got some video on the dues payer and Phil Russo and what they're up to over there. But the first video, I think we're going to go out to, let's see, we're going to see old Phil Russo here with the dues payer. This was from a few nights ago, and it's interesting because they put up their screen, and then when we see what they have on their bookmarks, and some of them are questionable. I never heard a few of these, like Grinder and Tube Blocker or something like that. But one interesting point about this is that this is Phil Russo's screenshot. This is his actual browser. And it's interesting what he has in his tabs
Frog,
here.
have you taken a look at this yet?
Oh.
So look at that. Phil Russo is on Shuli's Anonymous. He left it up there, not intentionally, but if you guys are a fan of Shuli, he has a Shuli fan page on Reddit called Shuli's Anonymous, and obviously Joe is on it, either viewing it, and he also posts under a few different accounts that we have the names of.
So yeah, it looks like this whole page is dedicated to hating this Michael Caputo guy and publishing. I guess he sends his sister and her husband quite a lot of vicious emails and text messages, and they basically publish them all here.
Making excuses and lacking skill.
Now, this was interesting. The dues payer put up his browser, and I see a $sign here, and I can't confirm this for certain, but I do see a little $sign there. It says home and then YouTube. What could $sign purchase YouTube? I don't know. This is something where it could be completely innocent. It could be something. I cannot definitively say that this has anything to do with those 600 purchased live viewers, which we don't know is true or not, right? They probably just only get 1.2 or 1.8 thousand live viewers. Again, those aren't big numbers. It's just funny how for their particular show, it always seems to be that particular number. And this doesn't prove anything.
Rob calls out John for grooming minors and being a potential danger. Rob going after Melendez on his own show.
Reddit is saying Vince the lawyer is trying to get grand.
Now, here's my good buddy Rob from a few days ago. And I don't necessarily love him on John's show. I mean, I think he does great there. But I do like him on his own personal show where he's not restricted by John Edward Melendez.
And Lemmy to do a show on his network. Oh, the Vince the Lawyer network. I don't know. I watch Vince the Lawyer. I know John and him aren't on good terms right now, but I watched Vince the Lawyer, and the guy actually makes sense. And he's
The only thing, Rob, I'll say to you is don't let John Edward Melendez know that you're a huge fan of mine, because a lot of times he will cut people out of his life if he's a narcissist. And I think John is not a narcissist, but narcissist behavior includes cutting anyone out of your life whenever you feel slighted or whenever you feel like they're not taking your side. But I don't believe John is a narcissist. I believe you're a good guy. I like dealing with you. I like performing with you. It was a good show last night. If you want to check out the show from us last night, I'll leave a link down here, but also if you go to Rob Saul's channel.
I find myself like, yeah, he's right. Especially when he talks about show. I like when he was like, they were like laughing. Look what Vince the Lawyer made in super chats yesterday. $2. And they're all cackling, high-fiving.
I'm
Hey,
in.
Shuli.
Yeah.
Next time you're on Saul, ask about felony and 220K HOA lien. That's no big deal to me. I don't know what the felony was for. If he did his time after committing the crime, I'm okay with it. I don't expect people to be perfect. Nobody is. Anyone that professes to be perfect isn't. If he owed his HOA $220,000, that's not that bad. I've had issues with my landlords in the past for various things, and sometimes that does occur. I'm okay with it. Those numbers don't bother me.
We were doing the math a second ago about how many shows John would have to do to make what we made last night. I thought a better way to express it would be to show you what Vince made today, reviewing our show.
Oh, no.
Vince, this is a lot easier for people to understand. I think Vince would have to do 1,000 shows.
One of my favorite.
So this is from last night. If you missed it, I was on with Rob. It was impromptu. We didn't plan it at all. In fact, I actually texted him from Guinea the Lawyer, and he didn't know if it was me or not. He trusted the fact that I would come on. He emailed me the link, and I was able to go on. I'm upstairs. It's not a great location. I don't have the proper microphone and everything, but to the right of me was my son, Devin. He was on the treadmill.
Vince the Lawyer moves was Shuli and the Shitware talking about how much money they made and goofing on your super chats. And then you go, well, listen, the money, it doesn't really, until it hits your account, it's you really can't count it. Let me see how much money you have in my account. And you put in and we see you got like 2.5 million in your account.
Now, I didn't realize that Rob was such a super fan of mine. I don't really want John to see this video because John may get mad. I don't want to be a little monkey wrench between these two. I really, really like Rob. He's a really nice guy. He's a sweet guy too. When I was performing with him, very comfortable. He's very open. He's honest about his life, which I love. I love people that are authentic.
And you play. And I said, brilliant, because like the Shitwire is just like so clueless, and he thinks he's winning, and he's like, look, everybody, Vince the Lawyer has only made $2 in super chat. And it's like but then Vince the Lawyer's like, yeah, I guess I did only make, but let me see what I have in my bank account. That was my favorite Vince the Lawyer move.
Really? Because I felt like it was kind of douchey, but in the moment,
I mean, it was douchey, but it was douchey in a fucking brilliant way, because you're responding to somebody douchey that's like trying to goof on you. Because
it is weird too, because if you think about this, if you're valuing a YouTube channel for purchase or for sale, if you're representing someone on that, how do you actually confirm how much they're making? Now, there's two types of channels. One channel that's going to make a lot of money via super chats, and the other that's going to make a lot of money via ad revenue, or a combination of both. If we take the Dues Payers channel, for example, and you want to value it, you need to have all of those people performing. If you purchase their channel, the only thing you're really getting is a channel that has a small amount of subscribers, 19,000 subscribers. It's not worth a lot. The value to the Dues Payers channel is the fact that they've all created a job for themselves. They need to be there in order to generate revenue. There's nothing wrong with that. It takes a lot of time to get to where the Dues Payer is. And some of you may not want to hear that, but it does. It takes a lot of time, a lot of work. He had a good start because he had a name, but you can't hold that against the Dues Payer. he had to call the Howard Stern show for 15 years from his mom's basement. Maybe it was like 10 years. But can you imagine the dedication it took? Not working and dedicating your life to another man, calling from a basement and waiting on hold for 2 hours, having John instruct you how to actually do the show and how to call into the show. That takes a lot of work. So the dues payer did pay his dues when it comes to the entertainment business. 862, go ahead.
Hey, Vinny, it's Mommy.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Can you hear me? I'm on the road.
Yeah, I hear you perfect.
Okay. I just wanted to tell you something. You looked so good last night on Rob's Soul Show. What, no, I'm not joking. No, what did you do with your lighting? You were really, like, I don't know, you're like caramel color or like honey. It's just like toasted bread. It's warm. I like it. Whatever you're doing.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm going to tell Lori that as well, hopefully to get her jealous. But she probably wouldn't care. She'd probably hook me up with you. You know I am 1/17th black in terms of African, technically, 1/17th. But that may be it. When I came upstairs, all the lights were out, and Devin was on the treadmill, or the Stairmaster, one of those two. And I just turned the lights on. The lighting sucks. I don't even know what you're talking about. But either way, I'll take a compliment wherever I can get it.
Oh, look at this guy. He went on air and he only made $2 in super chats. But, you know, that's the best move. It's like, dude, you're working at fucking Target or wherever you're working at. And the rest of you're like begging people for money online. And, you know, you're just like, hey, I just want to, you know, talk about what I want to talk about. And like, oh, well, listen, let me check my bank account and see what's what here.
Well, in fairness, it was funny that it was just $2, but I was thinking about it, Rob. So the dues payer does equate quality of show to how much the super chats actually say at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Meaning that we don't know if he puts in 100% of those super chats, which it could be, right? Or he could put in 0 of it. But he equates.
That's a great point by me because I didn't think about that. If the dues payer chatted in to his crew, let's say $100, and then Bob did it and Mike did it, that all is accounted for by the services that are used by Phil. They don't even pay for that service, that Playboard. There are services that can determine where the source of the super chats are. And when it's a big account, like a large type of channel, and you have to figure that out because you don't want people manipulating the data, then you need to know the source of all of the income. Even if you do look at someone's account, that doesn't mean that the source wasn't from the dues payer. If we look at his bank account and it has money in it, that doesn't mean that all of that money was transferred independently. It could have came from the dues payer. For example, if he super chatted himself $100 under Kim Johnson, and then you look at his account and it's $70 because YouTube takes their 30%. Well, all of that money was put there by the dues payer. Now, again, this is just a hypothetical. I have no evidence to support that, nor do I have any evidence that they are purchasing live views, about 600 live views for their non-BS show. I have no proof of any of that, so I cannot definitively say that.
Quality of show to how much super chats someone got. And I never did. And I always pledged to give every dollar away. I used to give it away to.
And we are. Today, I forgot. We were supposed to have a giveaway that I convinced these new people to do because we don't really have much in terms of super chat build up here. But we will once everyone figures out that we're over here. And I don't know why people haven't figured out that we're still live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12 noon. I'm supposed to give away either a Buffalo Wild Wings $50 gift card only if you can purchase chicken wings tonight or tomorrow, and you got to send me a video, and you have to be so you have to like and subscribe, they said. And there's also another thing that they were going to do, a housewarming gift for Mrs. Melendez. It was actually a pet cleaner. I know I'll give the cleaner away next week, but let's just go for the $50 Buffalo Wild Wings gift card that you'll get today. It's an electronic gift card, but only call in and only tell me that you can do a video for us and send it to Vin the Evil Lawyer at Gmail. I'll give you the email, but either way, we'll probably do a little contest or something. But we'll not right now. Let's get into this. Also, I want to say Casey Armstrong, my good buddy, he's come up with this great betting scheme, and I love Casey because he's spot on. You would not believe how good of a handicapper he is. Now, he said don't tell anybody, but I'll tell you anyway, because I think there's only one game left. Take the fourth quarter over and fourth quarter to win USA. Now, it's worked every single game, and yesterday made over $3,000 doing it, and this was the first. He had this big secret, and he didn't tell me till yesterday, and I said, Meathead, you got to tell me before the game, and he did. So, KC, thank you very much. In fact, KC, I'm using part of the money to sponsor the Buffalo Wild Wings giveaway today. I don't know what their slogan is, but that's in this actual competition, and this prize is because of Casey Armstrong. Very good. I think they have one game left. So what you do is you take the fourth quarter over and the USA to win on the fourth quarter or the whole game. I think all three does. But either way, that's what his big secret is. Don't tell anybody. I think they have one game left for you to do it. And today's giveaway is in honor of my good buddy Kyle Casey Armstrong.
John Edward Melendez. Obviously, right now we can't. I heard such nice things you were saying about me, but that was after I was making fun of the jitney. Now, I'm going to go on record here and say that the jitney is a fine transportation service.
But you were saying that there's only homeless people and poor people riding it.
Now, I forgot. Now, again, the jitney is this bus that the poor people take around Atlantic City. And I'm sorry, Rob, and he's claiming that it's also employees of the casino, but I've never seen them. I've never seen an employee take that because it's such a pain in the ass. Literally, you get on a bus and it goes and stops at every single casino. What I forgot was, it's not that the homeless take it. He's right. They don't. The homeless drive those buses. That's what I totally forgot, because it flashed back to me because I was really drunk and I was 25 when I was on it. They actually drive those buses, and generally it's a black guy with a big boom box. And I never seen a bus like this where the driver's drinking, everybody's drinking, and Rob will attest to this. It is crazy. I'm sure there's crazy videos out there, but I do apologize to the homeless in Atlantic City. They don't actually ride the bus. They own or drive the bus. They don't ride it, they drive it. It's usually empty for the most part, except for some derelicts. And I said to Rob, he is the best looking derelict I've ever seen on the Hampton Jitney. I do apologize to the Jitney Company and to Rob Saul about that.
And I said, well, listen, first of all, there's no homeless people riding the Jitney. They're going.
Yeah, and I want to clarify. They're homeless people, drunks at 2 a.m., and you. I want to make it very clear on the record,
listen.
In case the Jitney comes after me.
I don't know what happened, but everybody's like saying, "Oh, you're turning on John now, talking to Vince the lawyer." But I'm saying, I just want to see.
He'll be fine with it. John. The one thing about John is he's very understanding. Like, if you go and say, "Look, Vince, I like Vince, and him and I got our own thing, but John, I still like you." He'll be fine with that completely.
I saw people posting like AI like memes of me on the.
And that is true. John will not get mad just because Rob did my show or I did Rob's show. And Rob's a huge fan of mine. And obviously Rob likes me. And he probably likes John Edward Melendez more. I like John Edward Melendez more than me. Thank you for the super chat. Mike Shitty, internet provider, changed channel name to mostly inconsequential news. Potentially, but this channel will be here to broadcast this show live. A risky show, apparently. Let's go to 201. Go ahead.
It's not good. Is that light cutting in and out? Oh, is it somebody else talking? That's why we can only hear. Yep.
Come on, girl. You're on the phone. You want chicken wings? "201, you're on." I'll just leave it on until she comes back.
Jitney doing.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. I saw that. That was cool.
I know.
I don't know who or what is driving there. 201, call back. You don't win any chicken wings. 310, go ahead.
Vince, will you allow cameras in the courtroom?
New York doesn't. Let's see. We would be in New York Supreme Court. How funny is that? New York Supreme Court is generally our lowest court, excluding small claims and the smaller civil court. So our lowest real level court is our Supreme Court, not to make things even more confusing. The worst thing about attorneys is, especially the ones before us, they make things fucking confusing. They do it on purpose to try and keep people from understanding the law. Will there be cameras in the court? Probably not. I don't believe that New York allows them. I've never seen it done before. But will you attend the trial if one goes down?
Hi, Mike. Can I make another comment real quick?
Sure.
So, I mean, I'm an attorney, and if I was advising Stuttering Juan, I would have to say that one of his options is he has to be concerned. I mean, I would tell Stuttering Juan, you have to be concerned that an opposing party could go in ex parte to try to freeze your father's assets if there's evidence that Stuttering Juan and his father are committing a fraud.
Do you mean his mother?
That's enough. Well, mother, father.
Okay,
yes.
but parent.
I
Yeah,
mean,
because the father's dead. I don't know if there's something with his estate.
Well, I was giving the hypothetical, just a hypothetical.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're doing. Okay.
I mean, but like, if there's fraud, then how can you trust that the mother won't then sell off the asset to a stranger, and then by the time we get to trial in a year, you know that asset's gone. I think
Hold on right there. Hold on right there.
maybe
You bring up.
consider going
I
and
got
freezing.
you. You bring up a great point. And the people that wrote this specific law, which is uniform across a lot of states, have thought of virtually every single scenario that these dopes try and actually do. There's actual written statute about exactly what you're saying. You're saying, what if Stuttering Juan's dad, who had all the assets transferred to him, then sells them to a third party? There is still liability. As far as they were going to transfer it, you can do it. Now, the reason why we're allowed to sue the transferee, which would be the dad, straight away, which means tomorrow, is because you want to prevent that from happening. But yes, the statute has already attributed and a thought of that exact situation, believe it or not, because I had to go back and read it myself. And they're clever, and they just updated. And thank you for the Democrats and the Democratic Party in New York. And I know all you are out here are Trump-loving Republicans. But thank you to my Democrats and my fellow members of the Democratic Party for enacting that new law in 2020, which allows such beautiful recovery and also for attorney's fees. I appreciate that.
I love it.
I was thinking about you today was because you were saying how you don't drive. And obviously, like, there is something psychological if you don't drive and you're from the suburbs.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not, like, I've always been able to get by, but...
So Rob was saying how he has to take the jitney sometimes to get his hair cut. And I guess along the loop of all of the casinos in Atlantic City is a one stop in a town called Ventnor. And I remember that my ex-girlfriend's family had a place in Margate. For whatever reason, these are towns on the Atlantic City shore. And anyway, he had to take the jitney to go get his hair cut. But he also takes the transit, either the bus or the train, to get to his casino. So now we know that he must work within walking distance of the train station or the bus station, and we can exclude the Borgata and any hotels around there, the Ocean. We can narrow it down. I don't know why Rob wouldn't say it. I don't think, Rob, anyone would actually call your employer, unless, of course, you cross General Melendez, and he'll do anything, lie, cheat, or steal to get that job terminated. So probably you're better off, but I would like to visit Rob if he was bartending. I like to hear stories about hotel bartenders. It's something that I enjoy doing and hearing. I would drink at his bar if he was doing it during the day.
Oh, well, at one point
don't tell me the whole girl that you're banging thing. That's all.
So here I was trying to figure out why Rob doesn't drive a car.
Deflection.
No,
there has to be some reason.
I always lived with my dad, and we got in an argument, and I ended up moving with my mom in West Virginia, went to high school out there. They had a mandatory driver's ed class.
Oh, yeah, I heard this bullshit story, too, but doesn't, and you're going to say, oh, there's all these, like, weirdos there or people that intimidated you.
So he obviously knows that it's an issue, and his first excuse was, well, I don't drive, but I was banging this hot girl, and she would let me drive with my driver's permit, and then I can have sex with her. So, like, that's all a deflection. And then his other bullshit story was that when he was in West Virginia, he would actually not go to the driver's ed course because there was so many rednecks there. It's all bullshit. I was getting to the real reason, which we finally get to.
But clearly, it's really the divorce between your parents somehow is causing you to have this fear of driving.
That's very good analysis by me, because like most of our issues, all of us, myself included, you can attribute them to your childhood and either your mother or your father, to the better or worse, whatever it may be. And we're going to find out here exactly why Rob Saul is afraid to drive.
I don't know. I don't remember the divorce from my parents because they got divorced.
He remembers very vividly.
Divorced when, gosh, I was 2 or 3 years old. I don't remember that.
Were both your parents in your life when you were growing up then?
It's mainly my dad. I always, was with my dad.
Was your mom Danica Patrick?
No, no, my mom, no.
What?
My mom, she wasn't the type of parent like my dad was. My dad was like more of a nurturing and a giving parent.
Wow, my mom wasn't a nurturing parent.
Yeah,
I know. It is tough though. So your mom, she wasn't really in your life then when you were growing up.
She was, but it was a lot of fights, and like she was around, but then she moved out of state, and it was.
How do you think your brain reacted when he saw that car leaving with your mom and probably her new boyfriend? Everything revolving around that car indicated to you something that was very traumatic, the loss of a mother. There can't be anything worse to a child than losing a mother. Fathers, they can come and go. This is just for male apes we're speaking about. But losing that mother, last thing you see is the back of that car. And to this day, you can't even really get into a car because of all that anxiety, of all the danger and all the harm that comes when someone gets in a car. And I get it. And we got to it pretty quickly. I mean, you would have to pay a therapist probably for 5 years to get right to the point. And we got to it. So now that you know that, Rob, you can now attack your fear and start driving again.
Like, only if I got in a fight with my dad, I would move out with my mom.
How old were you when your mom moved out of state?
Probably about 10 or 11.
That's a traumatic event in your life then.
Gina,
did she take her car when she moved?
No, I never had a car.
Did she take a car?
She said, that's why you hate women. Because of my mother.
Great point. And Rob's such a good guy. And I didn't understand why he was attacking my favorite Gina Levy. I heard it, and obviously I don't like that. So I wanted to get to the genesis of his hatred for women, his hatred for cars, and then the deflection onto Gina. So Gina, you don't have to worry. This has nothing to do with you. When he sees you, he sees his mom. 100%. That's probably going to go for most women that he sees, physically sees. He doesn't hate you. He doesn't have any negative things to say about you. He did say that Bob used part of his settlement proceeds to get you breast implants. I hate breast implants. I would never tell anyone to get them unless, of course, I had to have a mastectomy. But do not get breast implants. Do not cut your bangs. Do not wear sneakers with a dress. That should be law for all women. Let's go to Anonymous. Go ahead.
Hey, Vince. I just wanted to say, I think you're about to touch on it, but I thought it was so great when Rob was trying to be the peacemaker between you and John Edward Melendez, and then you quickly turned it around basically and said, well, what about you and Gina Levy? And, Rob could not extend the same olive branch to her that he wanted you to extend to John. I mean, classic hypocrisy from Robert Saul, but he's a nice man, and he needs to get behind the wheel, I think. Maybe you could give him a driving lesson. Maybe you...
Yeah, and you make a great point, right? We're all great critics. We all say you should forgive and forget. We all tell people how they should act. But then we say, well, my mom doesn't talk to me and I won't talk to her. We go right to our own lives and we don't do what we say. And we're all hypocritical. You have to realize that on some level. And you have to grow as a person in order to get to the point where you can recognize that. I mean, myself included. Some of the advice that I give, I should be taking. I mean, a lot of it I should be taking.
No, that will have nothing to do with your hatred of women at all. Yeah, I'm wondering why you're attacking Gina so much, but I don't think Gina realized that your mom left you when you were 10.
Yeah, and I say that to Bob and Gina. Now that you know that, don't make him carry your bags around the hotel. And Gina, you know now why he's attacking you. It's not you. He's attacking his mom. She left him at 2 and then 10. The last thing he saw was the back of a car. All right, so have some empathy and compassion for my new good buddy, Rob Saul. I'll be doing a lot more shows with him. And it'd be cool because after he does John's show, then we could do sort of like a wrap-up show for the show that he just did with John. I know John's not going to be mad at any of this.
You ever met Julie in person?
No, thank God. If I did meet him in person, it wouldn't go well because I
I don't understand why everyone's so aggressive physically. Everyone wants to fight everybody.
keep telling him he's like he has all this shit to say, and I'm like, just say to me, I have no reason to be in the presence of Rob Saul, but you're willing to talk all kinds of shit on me. It's like it's weird that
I didn't know that Shuli was talking shit about Rob. I never heard the Deuce Pair show to the point where they're making fun of Rob. So, I mean, unless I see it, I'm going to defend the Deuce Pair here. I've never heard him say anything really negative about you.
someone acts like such a tough guy all the time. But
yeah, like he's tough. I'm actually scared of Julie because
you're scared of Shuli? Oh my God.
Yeah, I had texted him for a favor, and I've never heard a man speak to me like, "Don't ever text me at 3 a.m. ever again." I mean, he's a tough guy.
Or what, Shuli? What's he gonna?
I'm not looking to find out. I'm serious here. He is aggressive. Behind the scenes, the Deuce Pair can be a freaking bully. He bullies me around. He has no problem talking shit to me, telling me what to do. Not a problem in the world. And I'll say this, he's a little tough guy. He's a tough guy. I'm not kidding you. He's tough.
I don't even want to find out, man. I was scared. I get scared when people talk like that.
You're scared of Shuli? I mean,
I'm a big pansy. When he called me that one day, it was in 2017, screaming. He thought that I released High Pitch's medical records. So he's almost like a John where they believe anything anyone says. High Pitch is telling him I released his records. It was just a joke. It wasn't his actual records. And the Deuce Pair called me up screaming. I remember I was in my office and I was scared then and I'm scared now.
He's a tough guy. I'm telling you this.
No,
he's
not
fucking
tough guy. Stop. Oh my
when he
God.
is, and he's done. By the way, he's done this to me once before. He's called me up when I was working with High Pitch. He had thought that I gave out High Pitch's medical records, and he called me up screaming. I was scared then.
Yeah.
But this time I'm really scared. I'm not kidding.
Look at you. You're sitting
It
there
doesn't matter. He's
in
a
your
little-
home gym with guns and you're talking about a little bald fucking loser. Like,
Hey.
don't you
Oh, you're
talk
talking
to
about
me.
Shuli. I thought you were talking about me.
No, not you. I'm saying, look at you. You're in shape guy. Like, how could you be scared by some little fucking loser? Like,
I'm telling you this. He's a tough motherfucker. Israelis are tough.
It's just sweet laughter. So I got to give Vince the lawyer his props for that. That was a fucking epic response to them cackling about the $2 he got during super chats. Is just pulling up his bank account. Because I would love for Shuli to just key in on the phone and hear what he currently has sitting in his bank.
Hello, I'm
Okay, and again, that was from last night. So after that occurred, I go downstairs to the apartment, and what do I get? Lori and Alexandra are calling me garden gnome. And then Devin said that I look retarded, and he said that I only work out arms and all this stuff. I get so much critique from them you would not believe. And yeah, they do call me Downsy, unfortunately. And like in that, the weird thing, the whole Downsy thing is part of something else between John and myself. But here is the good doctor we once heard before. He's an expert in narcissism. And specifically today, randomly, I just picked this one out. He's going to talk about a narcissistic adult child and how they treat and react to a parent that is not a narcissist.
Darmody, and the topic for today's video comes from questions asking if I would outline some of the common characteristics and behaviours of a narcissistic adult child. The thing about being a parent is, you never stop being a parent. It doesn't matter what age the kids are. You never stop loving them, worrying about them, caring about them, wanting the best for them. And it can be heartbreaking for a parent to be bullied, manipulated, used and abused, sometimes thrown under the bus by one of their own children. Bullied.
Ma, I can hear me, Ma. I can go upstairs or downstairs. William Zavallo.
Piece of shit.
Bullied.
Mom, you didn't feel like bringing that up to me, huh?
Bullied.
You didn't feel like bringing that up to me, did you? I'm only live, don't worry. Carry that. You didn't have to carry the beer, I just need.
Oh man, I feel so bad right now. My new Mrs. Melendez said she can't even haul up the beer. So what happened was John is living at his mom's house now, and he's staying on the second floor. And because he lives there now, he has a refrigerator, and he got a delivery of Red Bull, a case of Red Bull, and one of those they call them a half a keg. I know you drunks always say like the keg stands that we do kegs on, supposedly that's half a keg. It's not a full keg. All my Irish friends, they always know the difference. But let's just say you visualize a regular keg. That's not what he wanted his mom to haul upstairs to his new bedroom. But he wanted, it's half that size. It's about like 100 pounds. And he was pissed that she didn't do it during the show.
Red Bull. But don't worry about it.
And of course, John's not a narcissist, but when a narcissist is faced with any type of counter argument, they can never accept it. They have to attack back. So she said, John, I can't lug the quarter keg up on my back. And John's like, well, you could have took up the Red Bull. Well, the Red Bull is not obviously as heavy as the quarter keg that he had down there. He couldn't just say that. And this is beautiful. We get to hear a narcissist and see one, John's not one, in their natural habitat when he believes no one can hear. That's the beauty of observing a narcissist in their natural habitat.
I'll just take a break. You know, I'm just doing a show. Don't worry about it.
Bully.
Yeah. Trying to make some money.
Manipulated, used and abused.
Mom, I'm on the air.
Sometimes thrown under the bus by one of their own children.
Should let you know that I guess Vince isn't playing around. And again, for me, I circle back to this guy using yet another family member as a shield, his poor mother, all the harassment, all the abuse she takes. Look at the bullshit she's caught up in with this son of hers. Look at how much shit she has to deal with.
Sometimes thrown under the bus by one of their own children.
The creditor might even go after the transferee, which is the person you gave the money to.
This in from Vince Imbesi, attorney at law, says, just saw the quitclaim deed. By making a fraudulent conveyance, we can now add Mrs. Melendez to the lawsuit for real. Dopey did the exact opposite. It's not a criminal act to sell assets when you are aware of potential legal claim, but we can seek to attach any asset he fraudulently conveyed. Google fraudulent conveyance.
Wow.
So did John make the exact wrong move and now Osa's going to be fucking in court going, I don't know what this is about.
What's the right move for John? Because John will be fine. It's his mom who's going to get screwed.
Whatever you do, don't do this. He did that. Oh, my God. Well, you're welcome, Vince, you prick.
The Deuce Bear still hates me. He hates John. I think he hates me more. I really do. And I believe because John has that personality disorder, which they claim. I don't believe. But the Deuce Bear dislikes me significantly right now, which is funny.
Legal to sell your home to mom, tenant being sued. No comment.
And it is only natural for a parent to blame themselves for how the child ended up. So they try to fix them, they try to rescue them, make them a better person, but usually to no avail. For the sake of this video, I'm going to talk about an adult child who is narcissistic and a parent, or indeed other family members who aren't. So just as a reminder, the common characteristics of narcissism include a huge sense of entitlement. There's a lack of empathy for other people. They can be exploitative and manipulative. They can be highly disagreeable and highly resistant to any form of criticism. And these characteristics would be long-term, consistent, and pervasive.
He rattled out 5 different characteristics, and my God, John is on the spectrum to the extreme in all of them. I mean, technically not. My friend Juan is. John's not. John's not a narcissist. And look at these words, and I say them a lot, consistent and pervasive, meaning that they can't actually turn it on and off. They can actually love bomb you and be a little bit charming, but ultimately the personality disorder is pervasive. It can never escape them. It's consistent. It will never, ever exhibit any type of difference throughout the entire life. What therapists do with narcissists is they have to identify them. A narcissist uses a therapist to be a supply. Now, a good therapist will identify the narcissist and then understand that generally speaking, there is very little hope for a narcissist, unfortunately. Very classic examples, and it was done in film. If you look at, they claim that Tony Soprano was a narcissist or a sociopath, and then going to therapy. Well, you tell a therapist the things you want to hear. You treat the therapist as a supply. So John has said publicly that he goes to a therapist and tells them about all the negative things that are happening to him. Now, if he chooses the right therapist, and he probably will, one that's going to believe what John is saying, John will say things, although they're untrue, and expect the person to believe him. And he's great at coming across as if he's believable. Because when you hear the things, some of them may be true, but John leaves out a lot of information. So consistent and pervasive are two characteristics of someone that suffers from narcissistic personality disorder. Now, if you believe John Edward Melendez suffers from narcissistic personality disorder, I say do not persecute him. It was not his doing. It was because of his childhood. Like my good buddy Rob Saul, who had an issue with cars and women, John Edward Melendez went through a pretty traumatic childhood. Very traumatic. And you have to be empathetic. It is your fault if you identify someone as a narcissist and then complain about their behavior.
Not just once in a while. So the common characteristics and behaviors of an adult narcissistic child would first of all be, at a low level, maybe they only see the parents whenever they want something. They see the parents as a resource. With that sense of entitlement, they don't have to earn or reciprocate anything. It is theirs by right. With narcissism, what we often see is it's other people's responsibility to make them happy. To a narcissistic child, it is a parent's job to give them what they want.
Hey, Mom, do you have any coffee left? Do you have any coffee left? Do you have any coffee left? Yeah, can I have like a coffee with ice cubes in it? No, not coffee, ice cream.
To a narcissistic child, it is a parent's job to give them what they want. And like with all narcissists, they might not act narcissistically in front of other people. They might come across as caring, well-mannered, concerned for the parents' well-being and happiness.
This is very important because I've seen this in my personal life where a narcissist, I'm just gonna call him Juan, went to a committee of attorneys. I'm not gonna say what or why, and he had this grandiose story, and he's very charming and convincing in his story. There was absolutely no proof to substantiate it, but when you first hear it, you're like, oh my God, this must be happening. This must be for real. You got to be very careful when you're dealing with a narcissist. They will charm people, but remember that their personality disorder is pervasive. It will eventually come out. Eventually. They will never, ever change.
They are dutiful and they are respectful. It's when no one is looking that the narcissism presents itself. It's when no one is looking that the narcissism presents itself.
Mom, could you unplug that phone too?
Where is that?
I don't know. You got 20 fucking phones in here.
Here we often see the manipulative side of narcissism, presenting a public face to hide the real face. Next, they blame the parents for all of their misery, all of their shortcomings, everything that goes or has went wrong in their lives. They will.
John can blame Ralph and Osa for his shortcomings in terms of how short he is. You forget sometimes how tiny John is, and I only met him for the first time in person in Atlantic City. I was one of the fortunate few that got to sleep overnight with John Edward Melendez. I mean, he didn't have the money, according to him, to get to Atlantic City. I paid for him to be there. He agreed to do the shows, and he did the shows. The shows were great. They were great from the room. I think we had a lot of good times. I mean, I fed him, I clothed him, I gave him the shirt off my back. The guy had no clothes besides what he was wearing. He had shorts underneath his jeans, a shirt, and that's it. There was nothing else. Literally nothing else. I gave him that blue polo shirt or pullover, and you know, I'm okay with doing that, but I felt bad for him in that sense. But I don't criticize John for being a narcissist because he didn't ask for it.
Blame the school that they were made to go to, the area they lived in, their failed relationships, failed business schemes, their unsatisfactory job or situation they find themselves in. It is all the parents' fault. In fact, even in their own relationships with their partners, they could be blaming the parents for their behavior, for how they are treating their partners. With narcissism, we also see a sense of superiority. They know more about everything than anyone else. Parents are perhaps not equipped to deal with this modern world. They don't understand technology.
Mom, could you unplug that phone too? Yeah, it sounds like it's up there though.
Up here?
Yep.
Or perhaps they're asking for money and the parents say no. They might guilt trip the parents with things like, well, then your grandchildren aren't going to eat this week, or we're all going to be made homeless, and it will be all your fault. In some,
we do know that John Edward Melendez allegedly had to borrow a significant amount of money from OSA, and that's okay. And with regard to a transfer or transferee, in just a hypothetical situation, you want the transferee to have money. I just learned from the beautiful New York statute that was just enacted in 2020 that we can attach the transferee's current real property. So let's just say the transferee lives on Long Island, and she also has a summer home in Florida. Well, let's say the son transfers the interest to the summer home into her. We can even attach her real property, put a lien on the real property that she owns in Long Island. Now, these are all hypothetical situations, but thank God for the Democrats in terms of this. Thank you, Democratic Party, for doing such. Can SJ's mom have multiple renters to pay off her house faster? Yes, she can. She could do whatever she wants now. She is the rightful owner of their vacation spot in Florida. Now, John has been spending a few days there, and she has every right to evict him. He has no rights to that house whatsoever. Zero. And in fact, Florida, a Republican state, they're anti-renter. They kick people out quickly, and she can claim now that that guy's squatting on her house and kick his ass right out of there. He has zero interest in that property. Zero. And we'll see if it gets voided or we just simply lien the current property on Long Island in our hypothetical situation. I'm not speaking about John Edward Melendez or Osa Melendez at all. I'm just speaking about hypothetically. And remember, in a few minutes, I got to call and I got to give away these chicken wings, but you have to promise to take a video. You have to order them tonight from Buffalo Wild Wings. So you got to be at a Buffalo Wild Wings or get it delivered, assuming that you can get it delivered. You can call in and get them.
extreme cases, there can be what's known as elder abuse, and this can involve controlling and exploiting the parents, using up all their money, their resources, just for their own lifestyle, or their own harebrained schemes,
The creditor might even go after the transferee, which is the person you gave the money to.
This in from Vince Imbesi, attorney at law, says, just saw the quitclaim deed. By making a fraudulent conveyance, we can now add Mrs. Melendez to the lawsuit.
Yeah, that was two different cups from two different sides.
So we heard the doctor there describing a narcissistic adult and how they may exploit their non-narcissistic parent in terms of financial/elder abuse. And when they have their harebrained schemes, as the great doctor put it, a lot of times it's going to subject their mom or dad or other type of sibling to their potential exploits. And that's exactly what the doctor was saying. So here we got the dues payer here. I forgot exactly what was going on. This was from a few days ago, but now they're running out of content too. So they're going back and reviewing when John first came back to the Dabbleverse. And as you recall, it was me who John Edward Melendez trusted to contact in order to get him back in the Dabbleverse, specifically because he knew that I had $3,000 to give him, and that was the number that he wanted.
Yeah. Right? Hello?
Yes. Yeah, I thought you were saying it is.
You thought I was what?
Here's the thing I didn't like. Joe was doing something. He was on Shuli's Anonymous and he wasn't paying attention because we saw what he was doing in the other tabs that he had. And then they treat Phil like shit. I say Joe, but it's Phil Russo. I don't like the fact that they're so cruel to Phil during the show. They're trying to act as if it's like a Baba Booey situation, but we know now that Phil can perform. In fact, Phil would probably be better off doing his own show and not having to be the little bitch to these four guys at their beck and call. Phil is a talent. I mean, he's been in radio before. He's an old jock. We've seen it. He should be doing his own show. I don't like that they're intentionally cruel to him, thinking that it's funny. Yeah, they could pick on me, and he picks on Phil. I mean, the dues payer is a little bully. He's an absolute little bully.
You said it. Frog, can you go out and come back in?
Yeah. Are you in Lebanon? Can you not hear me clearly? There's this via satellite delay with you.
No, I can hear you. I just thought you were talking to them, not me.
Shush, I'm trying to play the clip. Why are you always talking? Just pipe down.
Show so I can clear myself of it. But I swear on my mother's life here, I was looking.
Obviously, you don't care about your mother's life because you're just getting her into more and more shit every day.
And what you did in Florida is very illegal for $10. You can't do that when there's a lawsuit pending. You can't. It's just not.
Now, I don't know if Bob Levy is an attorney or not, so don't follow advice in terms of legal advice on this channel from Bob or for anyone else. He may be, I don't know. But either way, in some states, we heard attorneys telling us that it is illegal to do. Specifically, they keep saying California that it could be even a felony. We heard from that other attorney. I don't know. Luckily for John, he resides in New York, where the best that I can research, it's not a crime. And I never thought it was a crime, but apparently Florida and California have some sort of criminal statute in terms of a fraudulent conveyance. And here in New York, you know, me and my fellow people in my Democratic Party are liberal when it comes to crime like that. We don't have a crime here. So luckily for John, he does live at his mom's house, and they have, well, she has a vacation home now in Florida.
Bad boy.
And you cannot deny, not even for a second, that you are a man who will be 60 soon, living in his mommy's house.
Love the dues payer or hate the dues payer, he's 100% right. He lives in his mom's house on Long Island. We went and got the records for the mortgage when they both purchased the vacation home in Florida. They purchased that equally. They both represented to the federal government and to the mortgagor, the entity that issued their mortgage, that they live on Long Island. They represented that together. In 2023, when they took out that mortgage, they put that address. There's no mistake about it. It's multiple times. So yes, he does live with his mom. He rented that flop apartment in California temporarily, which I don't blame him. And then he moved back to his residence on Long Island with his mom. He's lucky because of the potential criminal aspect of fraudulent conveyance. Again, this is just my opinion. You got to get your own legal attorney, especially with John Edward Melendez. You can't follow anything that I'm saying. You got to hire your own attorneys and let them advise you as to what to do. What's your response to John's claim that your lawsuit is in retaliation for John's ethics complaint against you? I can't even confirm that there's an ethics complaint against me. I will say this, that because of what John did, and I won't say what, I had to hire attorneys. They went through and they confronted me with this thing. And I don't want to publicize it here because it would harm my actual professional reputation, what John Edward actually wrote in public. And then it was a blatant misrepresentation that he knew was not true. But I would never have ever learned about it but for that action. So it's not a direct consequence of anything that John Edward did, aside from the fact that the attorneys that I hired actually went through and found it.
That's all hers now. That's all hers. Fact, Jack.
Now, if he doesn't take out the garbage, does she take away his allowance for the week?
You better believe she does. I mean, he has to have an allowance now, but he has to do his chores as well. This is his mom's house temporarily. It's his mom's vacation home, and when he's on her Long Island home in that room, he has to do the chores. She can't be lugging up those quarter kegs of beer for John. And the Red Bull cases too. I mean, maybe she could bring up the Red Bull cases. That would actually help John. But everything else he has to do.
100%. I had the email. He goes, 100% up front. I go, confirmed. I said, confirmed. Then like a day later, he said, he sent me a new.
Kevin hasn't said a word since the super chat came. He's just in love like he's never been in love before.
Well, once the clear stuff comes out, you get a little confused.
And again, Bob is so fucking sharp and so succinct with his jokes. It actually amazes me. And it doesn't come overnight. You're not born funny. You got to work on it. And that's what I always said to the dues payer. If you want to be a stand-up comedian, work on it. Put your energy into it. But I also said, you don't need to do that anymore. You will make way more money doing what you're doing now. So I think it's a smart move to give up the stand-up comedy and just focus on doing a better show. Don't worry about how many super chats you're faking or how many you're getting, how many fake memberships that you have or don't have. I have no proof that anything is fake. It doesn't make a difference to me if they are fake. I'm saying hold the line, stay the course, make sure your show is the best it can be before you worry about anyone else's super chats or anything else. And again, call in. I have to give away these chicken wings, but only call in if you can order them tonight or tomorrow night.
Right.
From Buffalo Wild Wings. Thank you to Kyle Casey Armstrong.
Did you say he got 100% up front? Is that usual?
No, he's talking about from Shuley, I think, right now.
What these guys are referring to, again, when John came back in, I promised them $3,000 up front. I didn't think it would be a big deal. Carl and the Dues Perry didn't trust John. They wanted to do 50 up front, 50% up front, 50 to the back. That's what John didn't want to agree to. So then Kevin did the deal.
Okay.
I wouldn't give him 100%.
Yeah, but
Hold
I
on.
think he said that he's
Yeah,
talking
that's
about
what
you
he's
first,
saying.
Shuley.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
I'll handle it, Joe.
Thank you.
I go
I will
confirm.
strangle you with your earbud cords.
Thank you.
Oh,
No, I know, but I didn't know that. He just said, okay, 100%. I have the email. He goes, 100% up front. I go, confirmed. I said, confirmed. Then, like a day later, he said, he sent me a new
Wasn't a day
email.
later.
The deal is changing a little bit. Don't worry, but, they want to pay you half up front.
I mean, let's be honest here. It's Vince negotiating on our behalf without talking to us.
That is true. You have to be honest with the Dues Pair. I didn't even talk to them at all. I just figured they would do it, but I had no idea that they would not trust John Edward Melendez. I trusted him. I still trust him to some extent with regard to business transactions. And yeah, I didn't talk to Carl or the Dues Pair before I agreed that they would pay him, or all of us together would pay him $3,000.
And setting something in motion that Carl and I were both in agreement. We were not comfortable giving him the $3,000 up front. We didn't trust him to do the interview. He would run away. We knew back then what a pussy he was.
And half after the show. And then I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that because suppose like somebody gets pissed off and then they go, fuck off. I'm not paying you for it.
No, they wouldn't do that. There's no way I'd even allow that.
100%. The only reason why he's saying that is because he would do something like that.
Yeah.
He would fuck somebody up like that.
Of course.
No, I never met Carl. Hey.
No, not I think it's
Carl
talking
or
to John. What's going on, John?
I know he's a super fan of mine.
Correct. Look, I got the poster behind me to prove it.
I know. I mean, he's got.
Oh yeah, buddy.
All right, so
That
Carl,
paneling?
what's your take on the?
I don't know about the paneling though.
Yeah.
The Brady Bunch.
It's actually pretty interesting to see. This is the first time that Carl met his idol, John Edward Melendez, and John looks horrible. Remember, he started to grow his hair long. He was pale white. He was overweight more than he is. He looks like Ralph at his funeral, because I have friends that went to Ralph's funeral. He looked just like this, little overweight, small, pudgy little guy. And I'm glad that he changed that hairstyle. It's really bad.
What's your take on the Vince the lawyer
It's weird.
thing?
I bought a house, and this is how it came.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's your opinion?
I bought a brand new house.
Right.
Mommy.
Yeah. Unfurnished, obviously.
That's the weirdest thing. Like when you buy a new house, you usually have stuff to put in that house from the old house.
Yeah, I remember when we bought this, we just moved in with nothing, and we just stayed here for a few months, and then we're like, let's get a bed. We're like, let's do that, you know?
You know what would be a good idea? A dining room table.
Yeah.
Who wants chairs?
Yeah, plates, forks, a fridge to put food in.
Well, we know that Osa's house is partially furnished. It is just a temporary spot for her to relax in her retirement. Her primary residence is on Long Island with John Edward Melendez, according to the documents that they filed with the state. It is John Edward Melendez and his mom living not in Florida, but in Long Island. That home now owned by Osa has to be her vacation property. You can't have dual residency in New York and Florida.
Would be awesome. Oh, yeah.
I have
Okay,
an
where are you
apartment
now?
in California, and I have a house in a state that I won't mention.
100%.
Okay. Hold on. So he's in his Florida
I'm interested in this for one thing. I want to know how much assets John Edward Melendez has for various reasons.
place right there.
Yeah.
Right. So he says he's got a place in California, which he did at the time, and then a house in another state that he won't mention.
He's referring to his primary residence, his mom's house. It's not his, but he is anticipating his mom's death pretty soon. and then he will have partial ownership in it.
Was that the one in Florida he was talking about at that time?
Yeah, this is before it was out. It comes up later because
Okay.
Carl says that he just bought a new house, and John's like, really, where? And he's like, I'm not telling you.
Oh, we know where. The funniest thing that ever happened to the Dabbleverse, and there's very few things that could potentially come close to trumping it, is the fact that Carl and John R. Melendez bought houses independently 1 block from each other.
Meanwhile, it was right next to each other.
That's great.
I bought a brand new house and sold it for $10. Hot top, Daddy!
What's up, everybody? We are at Harney's Point in beautiful Cape Coral. Let's check out a Trump boat parade.
So if you saw the opening here, this is from last weekend. There is a Trump boat parade happening every single day in Cape Coral from now until the election. There were a few videos that we pulled from, but I just wanted John Edward Melendez to know what he should expect if he does waste any of his money on a watercraft. And this isn't my music, this is the guy's music. And of course, we all know now Lee County is a county for which Cape Coral is located in. And look at all of these Trump supporters. They're calling it Trumparilla MAGA Fest. And none of this is made up. This is all their production.
My fellow Americans, our movement is far from over. In fact, our fight has only just begun.
Holy shit, John. This is crazy. Now, if we know from what we've learned, that is the Caloosahatchee River. And as you can see that water there, as it kicks up, it flows from the most toxic lake in the country. And I believe it's in the world. It's definitely the most toxic lake in the country, Lake Okeechobee. And this is the Caloosahatchee. Again, all names from the natives that the white man kicked out from that area to develop this beautiful area. But yeah, this is Cape Coral, and this is what John should expect if he does ever get a boat. Cape Coral, love Trump or leave it. This is absolutely insane. This is all, if you know Cape Coral, this is from last weekend. Look at this. And I didn't actually run this music by the copyright system, so I hope that we don't get struck because of that. Can you imagine John R. Melendez chose the most Republican state, and then not only the most Republican state, but the most Republican area you can be in, and he finally is going to get a boat. He goes out, cruises out down the Caloosahatchee, finally gets out into the Gulf a little bit, and this is what he's confronted with for the next 5 months.
Cape Coral police say they arrested a man on sexual battery charges that involve a minor called.
This is from 2 days ago.
Us Wednesday morning when he saw the SWAT team here in his neighborhood, and I was the only reporter here when police raided his house.
Little bragger.
Cape Coral Police Department says a U.S. Marshals Task Force arrested 45-year-old Alan David Colon in Puerto Rico for a sex offense that happened at the house. Murnane has 2 children, so he said hearing about this is very unsettling.
When you find that something this close to home is kind of really happening, it really is, you know, one, it's already bad enough, but it's also even worse because it's right next to your home.
Ejected from a Cape Coral county.
If you just saw that there, that's My Lotto Dreams. We're going to go through it next week, but someone won $1 million scratch-off lotto, and then they bought a house in Cape Coral, and they showed 3 different houses. But this is from another scene at Cape Coral. This is one of the white people events that they have there. You know, Cape Coral is generally just old white people. And here, this guy got arrested for protesting. He did not turn his... He turned his back towards one of the committee members and got arrested for it.
Council meeting has been awarded $100,000.
Scott Kemp was arrested after trying to come back
Damn.
to another meeting.
Wow. Now, this is my dream team right here. We obviously have Amanda Hall, who we love, and then Rachel Gabe as well.
Then sued the city
Lawsuit, small shoot. I want in here.
council over his right to speak during public
God damn.
comment. Wake News reporter Jillian Haggerty's live at Cape Coral City Hall.
What the fuck? This is the trifecta. You better believe it, John Edward. Wow. So we have Rachel Gabe, Amanda Hall, and then this new hottie. Remember the model that we heard of last time? And she actually is pretty smart too. Not that we care, but my God.
Eileen, you spoke with Scott today. How's he feeling after that settlement?
God damn.
Yeah, Amanda, Scott Kemp told me that he's disappointed. So I asked him what his life has been like since he turned his back at the Cape Coral City Council meeting. And he told me that he's still advocating for those trees at JC Park.
I don't even know what's going on, but can you imagine you win a $100,000 lawsuit? The attorneys, those greedy bastards, are going to take 1/3 of it. So you wind up with $66,666.66. And then this beauty walks in to speak to you about it. That's his lucky day.
Then I also followed up asking
Although I don't think he's Asian.
him, would he have done anything differently? And this is what he told me.
Do I regret doing it? No.
More than a year ago, on
God damn, this guy got her on his couch. Forget the award. I think he should transfer it over to her. He should have made a proposition. Give her the proceeds.
October 11th of 2023, Scott Kemp took a stance of silence.
I'm sitting and face forward. I don't want to face.
Turning around in his
I love old white people when they protest. So I guess he was not willing to sit forward, so they had him arrested. When you're dealing with this situation, I would advise the council members there in Cape Coral to ignore it. He obviously wants attention. Ignore it. Now you just cost Mrs. Melendez $100,000 because that money is going to come from the residents of Cape Coral. And we know Miss Melendez now owns a property 100%. Her vacation home in Cape Coral is either going to pay for the insurance premiums for the stupid payout or the actual payout itself.
To protest against the city council in regard to JC Park.
I did not say anything. In fact, the vast majority of the people in attendance, other than the people immediately seated around me, had absolutely no idea that I had done that.
The federal lawsuit filed against the city of Cape Coral that Kemp was unconstitutionally arrested in violation of the First and Fourth Amendments. Last week, the city and Kemp reached a settlement for $100,000. And Kemp told me this is a sad day for the city of Cape Coral.
I think it's a sad day for Cape Coral that their public officials had put Cape Coral in a position of paying for having denied First and Fourth Amendment rights.
Kemp told me he originally planned to go to trial, but he was told by his attorneys to take the settlement.
You do not accept that settlement and go to trial. And if the jury comes back with a number that is equal to or less than the amount that was originally offered, the plaintiff becomes responsible for the defense attorney's fees.
So let me explain that. In some situations, the counties or the state or even the federal government mandates that the parties negotiate in good faith. If there is a good faith offer conveyed and the plaintiff fails to take it and decides to go to trial instead, if the jury awards less than or equal to what the original offer was, the plaintiff will be responsible for the legal fees. For example, in this case, if it settled for $100,000, if that was the offer, and he went to trial and the jury awarded him $90,000, then out of the $90,000, he would have to pay the state's legal fees, which will be way more than $90,000. The reason they do that in some jurisdictions is because they want the parties to resolve cases when they receive a bona fide offer, a good offer. And it's very enticing to a plaintiff to not accept an offer if he has nothing to lose. But here he did have something to lose. And by the way this little punk was reacting to the cops, I feel like he was actually resisting arrest. He got $66,000 and this hottie on his couch, and he's still crying. And unfortunately for Miss Melendez, she is responsible for that payment. One way or another, she has to pay for it. God damn.
Did reach out to the city of Cape Coral asking them where this settlement money is coming from, and they told me that they do have insurance through the Florida Municipal Insurance Trust, which is responsible for resolving this matter. Reporting live in Cape Coral, Jillian Haggerty, Wink News.
Oh yeah, Jillian Haggerty. I got to remember that name. That is the trifecta of Wink so far. I would say that if you had to rank the Wink women, those are the top 3 for me. Have you seen the talking cat threatening to sue Stuttering John? No, I don't know. Is that legit threat, or is there something that is just a joke? You were basically making out with that dude, Kevin. Ooh, this is the end of the show here. So, can we have a call in now? I know that people were calling in. I do need to give away the bucket of chicken wings from Buffalo Wild Wings, but only call in if you live near a Buffalo Wild Wings where you can get it delivered, or if you can get to it today. But only call in if you can get there and you can actually take a video for us to display, because when we give stuff away, we want to make sure everyone's aware that we do it. We don't give anonymous gifts here. We want to take full credit for it. Phone lines are completely open right now. Call in and let us know if you want to win the Casey Kyle Armstrong 747-233-4996. Call in. This is a promotion that is because of and out of respect to my good buddy. I cannot believe it. Kyle Casey Armstrong. Don't tell anyone, but he said to bet the fourth quarter over and fourth quarter USA to win. That's USA men's basketball to win. And it came in. And he's been doing it behind my back, but finally he gave me his big tip. And it hit yesterday. So I'm going to put some of that money to this promotion. It is a $50 gift card to Buffalo Wild Wings. Call in. If no one calls in, I'm just going to have to roll it over, and I'll get those damn wings for myself. Maybe I'll give him the high pitch Eric instead. All right, let's go. 310, go ahead.
Do you believe in videotaping depositions, especially if you think the witness might not make it to trial for, natural causes?
So you're asking if I believe in videotape depositions? To some extent, and to some extent yes, to some extent no. That is an option that you have, but that does not win you any chicken wings. 740, go ahead.
Yeah, you told me to call. I called.
All right.
Hello?
Let me see. Yeah, I hear you. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Well, you got to answer a question. Let me think of a good question. Let's think.
All righty.
Now, you know what? You ask me a question.
Let me ask you a question?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
If I get it right, then you can win.
Look. Damn, I don't even know what the hell's caught me off guard on that one. Fuck, I don't know. You think John's smart enough to own a boat? Really, in all actuality?
The correct answer is absolutely not. Right? Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, a boat takes some sense, man. You got to have some brains to have a boat, man.
Yeah.
Whether it be navigating it or you get out on the water, something happens, you know what I mean? Little shit happens. You got to be able to think on your feet and know a little something about something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the one thing I know about boating, because my dad loves fishing and boating, is you have to know how to drink and boat. And then drinking is a very integral part of boating. My dad doesn't drink, so I have to do the drinking for both of us. But John can handle his alcohol,
right.
And I believe that he can.
Well,
all right, congratulations. Now, do you live near? Do you live near Buffalo?
Yeah,
Wild
I got
Wings?
one there's one like 8 miles from me, something like that.
Don't lie to me. It doesn't sound like you live near anything.
Yeah, I'm like 8 minutes out of town.
What town?
There's one right on the edge of my town. Marion, Ohio.
Yeah.
It's north central Ohio.
No, I know it. I know Ohio. My family had a farm in Ohio, near Sandusky, but not in Sandusky.
Right. I'm about halfway between Sandusky and Columbus.
Yeah. All right. I can barely hear my show in the background. Next time when you call, make sure that it's loud. But we'll text you after this to get your email address, and you will have the gift card tonight. But you have to order, and you got to videotape it for us, okay?
Absolutely.
And congratulations, and you could thank Casey Kyle Armstrong for this promotion. And again, if you want to take his advice, I did it yesterday, and that's the funding for today's actual promotion by Casey Kyle Armstrong. Congratulations. Sorry for those that are calling in. Ali, if you want to talk, go ahead.
Yo, Vinny, I was calling in to win, man, but I see you gave it away.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. I know. I will do something for you next time. I got your number here. I appreciate it. And again, the Hindus can't take advantage of the Buffalo Wild Wings. I guess they don't, because Hindus are generally they don't eat meat, although a lot of my Hindu friends do eat meat. But I know that my Muslim friends are the exact opposite. Some of the best chicken you can get. All right, it is Casual Friday. We'll see everyone back here on Monday. Let's see what's going to happen. We know that there potentially could be an amendment to the complaint. We'll see. I don't want to say anything. The attorneys say not to say anything, and I keep talking about it. But either way, I'll see everyone back here on Monday. Are you in? Compromisable?
Compromisable.
Okay, I'm excited to see my good buddy Rob Saul, hopefully on John or Melinda's show today, later today. But I'll see him back here on Monday, hanging with Vince, 12 noon. Good show today, John or Melinda's. And everyone must have it now. You wish you were, man. I've never seen you so in love with a guy.
I was not in love. Well,
Look at him. He's blushing. I was not. We're just friends. What do you think? I want to bang him?
He legit blushes and gets uncomfortable.
Everyone must have it now.
wasn't making out with Jim.
You wish you were, man. I've never seen you so in love with a guy.
Look at him fix his hair. He goes,
Stop it. Stop it. You didn't see anything. Stop it.
Oh my
God. This is the best thing. I don't like the guy, but this is the best thing.
Do you plan on getting a boat?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, same with me.
We are at Harney's Point in beautiful Cape Coral. Let's check out a Trump boat parade. Trump boat parade. Cape Coral, Trump.
Go, Vince. I'm glad you're back.
You ruined the middle of my exit here, but go ahead.
Sorry, man. Quick question. Do you think that this lawsuit is going to be decided by default?
No.
So he's got a lawyer, huh?
Not yet, but I think that what I presented to him was something he should entertain, which was try and resolve it before it goes any further, before he has to spend additional money on additional attorneys. But it's not going to go away for zero, so he's got to get that out of his head.
Well, we all know how cheap John is, so he's not going to pay you anything, and he's not going to pay an attorney beyond making phone calls to you. So I'm thinking it's going to be decided by default.
I don't think so. An answer's pretty easy and cheap to put in. But as an attorney, you can't just take cases and then voluntarily leave them for the most part. Again, get your own attorney, get your own legal advice. Don't rely upon anything I said. But we'll see what happens with it. And again, now that we have a new defendant, it's a new pocket that's pretty entertaining or interesting that could potentially be.
Well, we're all waiting with bated breath here on this lawsuit. Can't wait.
Right. Where are you calling from in Long Island?
Valley Stream.
Oh, rich kids, huh?
Not as rich as Bethpage.
Yeah, right. All right, man.